Greetings and salutations, party people. It's your boy Big Frank. Good morning. Make sure I can hear myself. So if you heard. In the room with me is my home girl, Jay Cherie.
What's good in the building?
Jay, the Dark Knight provider.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? So, Jay Cherie said she should stay home.
Instantly regretting coming.
I'll give, before we get into the conversation, how you been?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
No, I have been busy. I've been good. I am now a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Okay.
Number 10.
Okay.
True Blue Pearl. So honored to definitely finally cross the burning sands. God, thank you. That's what they call it. So really happy to be a part of the organization is definitely a blessing. So I'm excited for that. School, I almost walked out and said I wasn't coming back. So nothing really new there. Just understanding that life is full of serious transitions, and you have to kind of be comfortable with them, and I am not. So
Yeah, absolutely. So Daniel,
I've been working. I haven't been wanting to work. I just want my wife to be a millionaire so I can just stay home.
come on, house. Do it, Jehovah.
what about you?
It's been. What's that song?
It's been a long.
Not that. 2 weeks to look at you.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Chicken in the China.
Yeah. So, for me, it truly has been. It has been challenging, emotionally, roller coastering, ups and downs. But we had a reset. My wife and I yesterday. Somebody gave us a hotel stay, so we dropped the kids off at a set location in the cold, outside, frigid, and somebody could have got that. Trust the Lord. No, some of their grandmother's home, and we had a time to just reset, enjoy each other, and just really have some more conversation just about where we at, and where we're going, and it was much needed. Trying to operate the business, ministry, fatherhood, husbandry,
Right, you know that.
husbandry, and these elements, and just trying to say, okay, because your boy Frank had quit in his heart mind, so you Jehovah, I love you so much, I do. You can have all of it. You can have all of it. But I think the conversation with my wife and knowing and finding out really what it takes to make this happen, and that's why today's topic. No, like it's the fight to finish, because it's like, Lord, I know where my disappointment is. And I say this because I have the expectation of certain things that are not flowing the way I projected that they would.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm really frustrated because I put these ideas. It sounded it's a little off to them. See what you hear, that you hear, what I hear. Maybe I'm gonna give a microphone to them. Let me just check that thing real quick. Around the thing quickly. See if I can put it there. 2 2 2 1 2. Oh, it might be too many situations. I know what's happening. Forgive me. That's my fault. That's Frank's fault.
Listen to ourselves. 30 different devices.
No, that should have clarified it. Let me know, Rhonda, if that's better. As I have 16 devices going at the same time. So, let me know if that's a better audio for you all. Hope that resolved the challenge. So, with that being said and stated, where was I at?
Just trying to navigate everything.
And it's just, okay, you got to do about the same. You really have to do some adjustments to realize what it takes to make things happen. And that was a conversation that we had to do. And you got to really put this on. You got to put yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to make yourself priority in the execution of what needs to be done. And one thing I said to my wife, I said, it doesn't make sense to be excellent and amazing on the outside to everybody in your house, in your home, and personally, you're depleted, exhausted, and not doing well. And the question is like, in all that's happening, what is God saying? Like, not what the church is saying, not what people are demanding of you. What is God saying when it comes down to you in this season, in this moment, and are you willing to take on what He said at the cost
of what you want to do,
but also at the cost of what you've been accustomed to doing? I don't want to say too much if you were listening. Oh, there's a buzz. Everything that we're not talking on, bring down.
I did. I brought it down over here.
Bring down a little too. It still feeds.
I'm trying to think where.
All the colors.
All the colors.
We got to fix it. I believe God.
All the colors.
So. Okay, all right. Hopefully, we don't know what that the dilemma is. It's technology. It could be something sitting on something.
Sitting on fofos. Riding on fofos.
Oh, what is that yellow cord going to?
This one?
Yeah. Pull it out. Because the problem is that Frank being here doing extra stuff. Okay, I did karaoke. I had a whole quiet storm session in here doing extra stuff. But back to the topic at hand, because it's like, and I call this out. This is just my wife was just talking about. It's like, what is God telling you to do when it comes down to your business, when it comes down to the kingdom of God, when it comes down to your personal life? What is His instructions? And what I realize, this is just me talking honestly, is that I try to take his instructions, and then I try to compare it to the people's opinions and ideas, and try to please them both. And the truth of the matter is it's not going to happen that way. And it's not that you're trying to like cause a disturbance or cause chaos, but the truth of the matter is like, yo, I need you to operate like I told you to, and do what I said, and don't procrastinate. And procrastination is really a challenge for me. And it's like, why, Frank? Like, why did you delay? Why did you hesitate? Because if you just do, now this sounds crazy. If you do what I told you to do, when I said do it, you'll be in places that you have your mind couldn't fathom.
You already be done.
You already be done.
As my mama would say, if you would have just cleaned the house when you was cleaning the bathroom after when I told you to clean the bathroom, you'd be done cleaning the bathroom already. So
My thing is time.
Yeah.
When, like yesterday, so one of our classes, I like this class, but I kind of hate it at the same time because like they videotape you in two roles. So they videotape you as the client and as the therapist to show like therapy skills, what to do, what not to do, or whatever. And I was in this particular video, I was the client, and so my professor was kind of like therapizing me a little bit at the end of the video, and he was just like, "Oh, why do you do this?" And like I said it in the video, but I was like, "I'm not gonna change my mind." I said what I said. Like I have a hard time saying no, and I will work to the point of exhaustion, and I'll never tell you I'm exhausted. Like I'll just be like, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it." And then I get a cold and I'm forced to rest. Like that's the only time that I literally be like, I can't do this because now I'm sick. So he was like, "Well, why do you do this?" And I was like, I've been self-sufficient since 16. So like you're in a place where it's like you need to get it done, and you will work till you get it done, no matter how long that takes. Now how much it will. It seems like it's breaking you. And he was just like, "And you cool with that? Who else am I gonna ask?" Like it's just like I can't ask nobody else to do it. So it was like he was like, "So you just have a hard time." I said, "Even with supports, I have supports. I have a pastor who's like, if you're tired, tell me." I have people that tell me like, "If you're tired, just tell me," and I will never tell them like unless I'm sick.
welcome. You must have been at the same meeting in the spirit because, like yesterday, my wife was let me be a therapist. I said, "Go ahead, talk to me." She said, Why do you do this?" I said, "I'm a yes person. I say yes, even when I want to say no. Like I've said no to say yes. I said, what are you doing?" And what happens is and then I give false expectations. Then I now exhaust myself trying to meet those expectations and those things, but then I've neglected my own priority. Like so, this fight to finish is like, well, I should be in my own fight to finish, but I'm in your fight finishing what I promised you when I should be really fighting for myself. Like I should be fighting for my family. I should be fighting to make sure we good, that we okay. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be so honest with you. As a single person, they'd be like, "Oh, family come first." I didn't comprehend it because I was a single faith stepper with the Lord. Okay, God, we can take the risk to do us. When I transitioned into marriage, it was like I was still trying to operate in that same faith level, as if, Lord, God, you got my family. You got us. I'm trusting you. I'm going to quit the job. I'm a job quitter for the Lord. And no problem walking away and trusting Him. And it's like, no, Frank. Yes, you will, and I want you to do that. But understand that you have priorities, and right now, because you have a family now, that's priority for you. And for you to be good for them, you got to be good for you. It's priority now, and that means that other areas of your life and components, it's a season of lack for them because you've already sacrificed so much trying to do their fight for them. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's a disdain of me and God we got a conflict or a fight. It's like, no, Frank, I need you. I have a purpose for you, but I can't get that out of you if you're not putting the value and the quality in the fight that I'm putting you in. And it's one I said this to Daniel before. It's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to be like, oh yeah, we got a future. I can throw the dream, okay? I can what that thing used to make is probably demonic, but dream chasers.
Yeah.
I can get the hollowing out from vision into the dreams. But it's like after you've hollowed out the vision and dream, where's the execution? Where's the fight to make it happen? And what happens is because I've been people pleasing, and I'm guilty, and I know this to be true, and been trying to do or accommodate everybody else's feelings and emotions and these things, I find myself I'm in your fight. And while I'm out here depleted already from my own fight, this little strength that I do have, I've exerted to you. And it's not like there's a time and a place for everything. Everything has a time and a season. The Bible says this. So there's times where I can't fight for you, but there's times where it's like, all right now.
Yeah.
Gotta fight for yourself.
Y'all fight for yourself.
It's bad that my supports need not know when I need rest when I don't. Like it's like my pastor could actively look at me and be like, okay, so you probably need to step like like are you good to like my sisters will actively not call me to be like, you need to get some sleep. And I still be like, well, I gotta still take care of this in my house. I gotta take care of schoolwork. Like I have to do this, and this. And they be like, we purposely didn't call you so you would go to sleep. Like, and I'm just like, but my house needs this. And I need to do schoolwork for this. Like the people around me, even my therapist was like, dude, go to bed. Like, get some rest. And I'm like, I got schoolwork, and I got to try to figure out the Uber life because I need money for this, and I got to still I got to preach next week, so I need to sit with the Lord. Like, the people around me will point out, you need to go to bed and get rest. And I'll be like, yeah, okay. And then I will I will do work because for me, grad school, the transition, I was telling you guys before, the transition has upended my life. So how the plan was supposed to be for graduation with Madai is different from Kanisha, so still adjusting and then understanding that I was a little underserved at my previous institution and knowing that I have to take a major exam to graduate at this institution. I'm like, so now I got to study, now I got to get materials, now I have to sign up for teachers, like for study groups and classes, like, and it's just, I need to actively just be like, take a day, go to sleep, and rest because like, even my therapist yelled at me yesterday. She was like, you are so mentally depleted. You were ready to walk away from God because she was like, I am tired. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the cycle. I'm tired of... She was like, and what you need to do is just rest. And like, hey, can I fix anything today? No. So rest. If you can't fix it today, rest. And I'm like, but I still need to worry about tomorrow. And she was like, or you could just try not to fix anything today and rest. So it's a real thing when you're trying trying to fight and accomplish what you see in the future,
Yeah.
and it's like you're not gonna get God's gonna get you there.
Yeah.
But like in your mind, you like, well, faith without works is dead, and I
Right,
gotta work.
right,
And God
right.
be like, I just need you to work
Right.
what I told you to work.
No, and that's the part. And my wife is getting at me properly because I love her so much. She said, she said this. That's what she said about me. She said, saving the folks, save yourself first, baby. LOL. Apply the oxygen mask to yourself 1st, and that is just something that I just haven't done. You know, I'll be out here just
dying.
You got it.
In the smoke.
You know, I'm trying to be savior. I'm trying to be the savior. But what it is, and I get that that there's days like you need to rest, and then for me, and this is just a real situation. Trust delegation, and if it fall, it fall, and like, dang God, that's a little harsh, but it's like, no, because I need you to learn certain things. Because I need you to be well. Like for example, I believe 100%. I will be a millionaire. My wife will be a millionaire. Been prophesied by the prophets. Our visions, our dreams. Execution is required, but to execute means that we have to have time, which means that I have to invest time in those productions and that kind of work to do, whether it's on real TikToks, whatever. Which means that my time is valuable now. Which means that also that even though you calling me for something, I may have the time to do it, but I can't give you my time. I can't give you my time now. I got to invest it because I said this last night. The Bible talks about that your gifts, and the calling comes with repentance, but he said that your gift makes room for you. And I think that sometimes we're trying to make room for the gift. And in reality, he says, no, just work and do what I told you to do. And that's it. Anything extra that we tell you to do is on you. Because we say all the time, he won't put more on you than you can bear. He's not going to.
But we will.
We will definitely take on responsibility, take on tasks, take on people, take on scenarios that he's like, yo, I didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah. I guess a way to think about it is that God knows you're not a superhero. God knows you're not a superhero. So when you out here trying to be a superhero, he looking at you like, you don't have to be a superhero because I never told you to be a superhero. So anytime like we feel like we're struggling, it means that we are overexerting ourselves past what God wanted you to do. It's like you wouldn't be tired like this if you was just doing it how God wants you to do it. And then thinking about it in a different sense is that every superhero you know either don't have a job or they have a job that's extremely flexible. Superman is a reporter that we don't know what he be putting in that newspaper, okay? Because Lois Lane do all the work, at the Daily Planet. Batman is rich. Wonder Woman, who knows what she was doing? I don't even know what she was doing in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Flash is a police officer. You know what I mean? Like, these are all people that not really doing nothing. They all outside all the time. So, yeah, I got a lot of time to save people because I ain't doing nothing else.
It was crazy, and it's funny that Daniel said that because here's another thought that I had. Maybe I walk these streets now. I'm not a street walker, but I'm out here. It sounds kind of terrible, but because I walk now, so I'm in my thoughts more consistently than more worried about the green light, red light. What's happening? I'm on a bus in my thoughts, walking in my thoughts, right? In my thoughts. But I talked about to myself flexibility, and I said, I talked about the Apostle Joseph Bush Jr. And I said, you know what? He cut hair, but he was flexible. And he was flexible to the point that, hey, if God calls me to go out of town or do whatever, I can stop what I'm doing and I can go. And I believe that the idea of the grace that He's given me now to build what I have here at Heavenly Holding Studios is like, I'm giving you a place I'm rebuilding now so that you can be flexible to go. But in the building of your business, you also have to get your family established. So the fight, now I go back to the name of the show today, the fight to finish. There are certain things I'm giving you the grace to complete, to establish, so that I can maximize the purpose I have for you in the earth. And I think that, but as long as I am involving myself in everybody else's fight and not putting that grind time, that investment that He's allotted to me to do, I'll find myself a year later talking about, I'm still trying to figure out. He's like, no, I told you, operate the business and do the ministry. Okay, God. I'm operating the business and doing the ministry. But no, Frank, you operate a business. You over here doing this. You're doing too much. So I need you right now. I'm giving you this grace for this business class, and what I've learned, I'm learning a lot. Oh, help us, Jehovah. Okay, faith is one thing, but when you learn, you become accountable. Okay, it's like, oh my Lord, so I'm learning these elements about business and these components and making major pivots. Then I also have help, and I got people willing to be a part, but I have to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence as a leader in establishing what I want this structure to be, so that I can now delegate, which then relieves me of that this time restriction I'm in right now. All right, here's time back to you now, because you have the vision, you have the plan, and you have the people. Here's some time back for you, Frank. All right, cool. Then my family has to be established, because we got to get out where we at right now, and it even got to be the forever home. We need intermediate home from where we are. It's like, okay, then let's go ahead and get that too, Frank. Let's make it happen. Let me show you how God I am. Yeah. Trust me, obey me, and when these things are established, all right, now the business is flowing, so capital ain't a problem for you. Okay, you're caught up ministerially. If you know, you got to be at the meeting. But you're caught up here. But now I can really use you how I want to be sent where I need you to go and be willing to go without having that burden. Let me just be 100%. And I don't people who pretend, oh, money. Listen to me. When the inconvenience of not having finances come, it has a mental and emotional pull upon you.
Mighty God.
And it's a real thing. Now you can get on here and just trust. I trust God, but when that landlord gets to knocking and people get to asking questions about things and I don't have an answer, I really get
anxiety.
The emotional side is like, what's happening? And I have to try to reel myself in to not wanting to put this process or run and give me 2-3 employments. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, Father, but for real, God, what do you want me to do? Someone said to me recently, and it was like, yeah, Frank, maybe you got vision, but you're mismanaging. You're mismanaging it. And then I'm like, oh, it could be very much true. I'm like, okay, that very much could be possible. Okay, God, then where is it? Then where is the management? Because this is just me being open in this on this good old Friday, is I know how it presents itself. Mm-hmm. That they said this to me. Oh, Frank, you got it. Oh, I know that's what it looks like. I know that it looks like you're just strong and you're moving it. No, I'm figuring this out. Yeah. There are more weak moments. There are more hardships that I've articulated across the board. But it's like, you know what, Father? But I have this fight that I got to finish. Mm. But to finish this fight effectively, I have to focus on me.
Right.
I have to focus on delivering the word of God, delivering who I am, delivering what I do in business. And I told this to Daniel earlier. And guess what? It's not a mean, disrespectful Frank, but it's a Frank. I won't say he cutthroat. And no, but
just a little.
He just moving forward.
Just a little. He's softer with different people.
No. And what it is like, and I don't mean to be mean, but what it is there's another level of value of time and energy.
That's it, Talisha. She said, when you look like money, but you just trying to keep your head above.
But boy, listen to me. And not even listen, I ain't gonna hold you. It's not even my head. You know when your face just come out?
Yeah.
That's Lord, we tread water and we breathe.
Doggy paddling.
But in the hope that, Father, I'm trying to glean and grab and really invest in what you're telling me to do. But that means that it sounds insensitive. And it's something, as a Christian, you shouldn't say this. Unfortunately, right now, I can't. Mm-hmm. I can pray for you, but I can't get in this defending fight for you.
Yeah.
I can't change my life or what needs to happen in my fight because you're going through in the moment. I really got to. What good am I to get into your fight and I'm weak?
Right.
What good is me to get in your fight and you come out victorious and I'm bloody on the ground?
I got beat up.
And I'm beat up, and then I have no individual to run to for my support.
Right. I think that the thing that we, especially as people please, is that we have a misconception of what flexibility is. Flexibility is the ability to bend, not to stretch, because stretching is tension, and we tend to stretch ourselves too thin, which causes tension. But it's not tension in them; it's tension in us. And like just say, you'll stretch yourself so thin that everybody else know that you near breaking point, but you'll be like, nah, I still got it. I'm gonna deal with this tension. You know what I mean? But flexibility has nothing, like how you said, like, Bishop was he was flexible, but that wasn't because he was stretched a certain way. He didn't have the tension. He could cut hair somewhere else. You know what I mean? It wasn't stopping him from doing anything that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was able to bend, he wasn't stretched in any way, shape, or form. And I think that when people be like, yeah, I'm really flexible, we got to stop saying we flexible. Like, because like you can pull me any way, shape, or way, because you can't. Not all the time.
I am not Elastigirl.
Right. Not Elastigirl. You got a family. We got families. Jess is in school. Those are weights. And you can't pull me. So you can't pull me all the way to the left because this weight over here is holding me in place over here.
Yeah, and I think, and I want to add to that, to this degree, and the word I heard in my spirit was efficiency. That sometimes you have to just be efficient at a time for that thing. And I said this recently, and they may not like it, but hey, being in this season, like I said, well, if I have responsibilities, and I do, I have to dedicate a day and a time for that responsibility.
Yeah.
So this is the day where either we're gonna catch up about it, we're gonna update about it. This is what it is. This is what's set in place. Now, because of that, I won't see you again until next week this time.
Yeah.
So you can, your emails, you can send them your notes. I got you. I'll address it again on this day at this time. This is my church dealing day. Okay. After we done served on Sunday, we done did this on Tuesday. This is the day where I have to deal with the responsibilities that come with the role and responsibilities. Right. And this is just me making this up about you up and walking and talking. So I'm gonna deal with these today. But once I've dealt with those today, I can answer those questions today. Mm-hmm. That's the day. But now I got to move on now because there's other components of my life that's required. Other times of the day. So my prayer time, my personal time, my fitness time, whatever I'm going to plan is good to do. And my grind time, my phone call time is really about planning a schedule and sticking to it.
Yeah. And
then also so that you know what you can do as far as being flexible, but I'm not getting ready to stretch myself and cause tension unnecessary.
All right.
I think like with me, it's not really being there for others. To an extent, I'll say it's not really being there for others because like you foresaw my transition with this Friday, but it was more of, for me, it was like, this is what your life looks like. These are what your duties are as an elder and an armor bearer. Now, navigate armor bearer duties, elder duties, school, internship, class, and use efficient time. Where, like, it's like, hey, I can't make it to this as an armor bearer. Somebody will text me, hey, can you make it to this? Because I can't make it. I can't make that either. So then I feel guilty that I haven't made the adjustment to accommodate the person that couldn't make it in the first place. Yeah. So, like, for me, it's really, like, understanding that, yes, you're not going to be able to do everything that you're assigned to do. But it's okay to say no. Because saying no to certain individuals hurts me to my core. Sure. Like, saying no to my pastor hurts. Like, having 4 conversations with Frank about like, no, I'm not gonna leave. Okay, so I'm gonna just have to do it on this day. Then it switched to like, I got internship. Like saying no to that hurts because when you know how somebody values you, but you also see how they see you, or if they can lean on you, it's kind of just like, I can't say no. So for me, it's efficiently like saying, even with interning, maybe you don't need to do internship Monday through Friday. Maybe you just need to do internship Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Like, stop trying to get all your hours in certain periods. So for me, it really is time management to have that space to be like, you can go to sleep. You can actually go to the gym. For sure. So finishing for me is really effectively putting everything on schedule and having proper time management and just being okay with saying I can't be present.
Right. And I think that, and I'll say this as your brother, maybe the prophet, is that that's going to be efficient for you, especially for this season, because it's grind time for you. And that's just really what it is. It's grind time, but that means that timing has to be, allotted and set aside. Um, but once this investment is the investment of time now will be worth it. Um, I won't say in the long term, sooner than you think, it'd be worth it. But that efficient, even for me, is like, Frank, you got to put this time in priority, and you're not single no more. And before you've been married for 3 years, I know I got kids. Listen to me. But I told my family I'm about to Joe Jackson, y'all, without the abuse. And I'm in that, and I'm in that to the degree of, listen, as a leader of my house, and knowing that my house is gifted and talented, there's no way, and I'm about to cry when I say this, I can invest in all these people in the city of Niagara Falls and not put my family on the map. There's no way that I'm about to go, and once again, feel free to be offended, go to church and preach and prophesy y'all into deliverance, breakthrough, your purpose, and my family ain't moving in the fullness of their potential and their gifts and their talents. I refuse. When I tell you, I'm gonna say it again and say it loud. I refuse to be a wonder to this world and be like, oh, he was an amazing man. Oh, he was Uncle Papa Daddy Frank. Oh, he was funny. He was a comedian. Oh, he did all this, and my family not reap the benefits of what I should be leading them into. There's no reason why my wife doesn't have a modeling career. My children should be in modeling. My wife, she can sing, and she might get mad at me now, but I put pressure on her. Okay, the people gonna support you. Maybe no, they're not. Here's the picture. Yes, they will. Yeah. Here's this projected live debut album release that don't exist for real, but it's there because to show that, hey, the people are gonna support you. So that means that I have to do my part as a leader to make sure that not only spiritually, and let me just make this story real quick, real plain. As a preacher, prophet, man of God, I hit different, and I know this to be true. I know, and I told this to Bishop when he was present, and I said, he said, you've been called to. I said, I know I've been called to pastor. Mm-hmm. I understand that I'm called to a group of people, but the group of people that I'm called to, they in media. They will do. You'll see them do a sing that's anti the Lord and still be saved. Mm-hmm. I cater to a group of people that's in the market that my acting career doesn't hinder my Christian belief, and balancing the two. Because it can go to a place where I want to be deep, but I know who I'm called to. That you can be creative, you can be unique, you can be different and maintain salvation. And it's like, okay, I'm catered to those people, but to reach those people, I need to be where media is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's blessed me to create this space. So I'm grateful for it. So they'd be like, Frank, somebody asked me, Frank, how can you DJ? I said, I love the Lord, and I know him, and we have communication, and we talk. Because for me, the DJ doesn't impede on me being obedient.
Right.
Because I would definitely Nicki Minaj you and prophesy to you in 30. You were like, Frank, I know. The girl came up to me one time and was like, Frank, I know you will say it. But can you play this song for me? This is just payment. This is just a job. This is this job. This is the secular job. But not to digress, but what I'm saying is that I'm not going to do all these things. Be Santa Claus, be the DJ, and everybody loving all that I do for everybody else, and I and my family not win.
Right.
In God, not win. I passionately refuse. And like, Frank, why are you so aggressive about it? Because I've been to a location, a church, and if you know, you know, you don't, where they've exhausted themselves in servitude and lost their wives and their family. And I'm not going to.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to do what the Lord instructed me to do. I'm going to be more efficient in the responsibilities inside the church, and execute my kingdom assignment as I'm supposed to. And I'm going to let the gifts that he's given me make room for me and my family. But guess what? I got to fight to finish that.
Yeah.
I have to get focused. And this is what you used earlier. Get focused and tap into what God's given me to work with and to work it
Mhm.
and to execute what he told me to do. And that's a fight. And I'm just saying right now, it's a fight. Things are gonna come on the left and on the right. People are gonna have their opinions and their thoughts, but you have to be sure, what did God say?
Like I follow Keith Lee on TikTok.
Let me capitalize real quick. Now I heard the name Keith Lee 4 times. Now when I put in Keith Lee, I got one guy from Niagara Falls, and I got his wrestler.
Keith Lee.
Keith
L-E-E. Keith Lee.
Okay.
So I follow Keith Lee. Keith Lee he essentially travels, he tries food, but he's a believer.
Yes.
So like he talked about his story about his family almost being homeless. God created, gave him this platform and has expanded his borders.
Yes.
To the point that he was invited to like different awards and stuff like that just for being who he is. And so recently he was in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and Atlanta has a lot of different food rules. And so there were some things that he couldn't try or things like
Mm-hmm.
that, and people started like, you making this restaurant look bad, and people coming for your life. And he was like, I'm only doing the gift that God gave me. He's like, I'm only operating in this platform that God gave me. He was like, but when it comes to the extent of that you didn't like a review, or I couldn't review a certain food because you fried your food in the same fish as shellfish and I'm allergic, like, he's like, I had my family try it, like, and they started threatening him, people from Atlanta, including the owner of this place called Milk and Honey, because of their policies. He couldn't get food, but when they saw him actually walk in the building, they was like, oh, we'll get you food. And he's like, no, I'm a normal person. If a normal person couldn't come in and get food, you're not gonna make food for me. And it started threatening his life, and he was like, I'm willing to stop doing this if it's in the threat of my family, because my family is more important than being on TikTok. And when he said that, it made me just feel like how quickly, when you're doing stuff that God created a platform for you for, it was just like the threats will come, the shift will come. Even the conversation I had with you about what God showed me, I was like, maybe I got the date wrong, because another person's supposed to have something same date, and I was like, maybe this is not supposed to be me. But it was like, you have to be sure that what you're doing is what you're doing for God. And when they say what you do for God will last, it really does. But everybody's look isn't going to be the look like that you think it is. When Pastor had the meeting yesterday, she was like, who do you think our demographic is? And I was like, the raw, the real, and the people who don't look like church. That's who we are. Because you walk in Covenant, you gonna see tattoos, you gonna see pink hair, green hair, yellow hair, you gonna see people in leggings, you gonna see people in 6-inch boots. Like, you're gonna see it all, but we all love God. But like, you have to know your lane.
Yes.
In order to effectively, I know mental illness is my lane, but I also know sneaker design is my lane.
Right.
So I'm gonna walk into certain places where it's not gonna look like, why is this believer here? Like, me being part of an organization already got pushback about being a Zeta already. It's only been a week. But it was like, they did demonic, and I saw the TikToks where people were announcing, and I was like, I can guarantee you, I did nothing to compromise my relationship with God. But it's not going to look like how churches think it is. And I think a lot of times we won't step out because this don't look like church. What you doing at the Oak Room? First of all, it's my coming out party. But second of all, I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. I'm not freaking. I'm not doing none of that. I'm celebrating a milestone in my life. And I understand that as long as my pastor know where I'm at, we good. But a lot of church people want to put you in that box of, if it don't look like church, it's demonic. And it's really not. God has called us to the church and the marketplace. Marketplace ain't going to have Jesus all over the place. It's not. You're going to be in some places that people going to question your relationship with God. And you have to be comfortable with that. Like, I am fully comfortable that if I have to go someplace and be at Poise, my pastor know I ain't out here drinking. She know I ain't out here smoking. I'm going to just tell her this event is at Poise, and unfortunately, it's a bar. Like, I'll talk to you when I leave. And stuff like that. So I think we have to release ourselves to be okay with God sending us to the unfamiliar.
And that's real. And I just told my wife, I said, listen, a part of this process, and this is just natural. This process of building the business and building this brand, being this media situation, I gotta go to places that this ain't about. I'm so sorry that I'm every minute. I don't even like church musicals. I hate it.
No. I don't
I
like
ha-
them.
I dislike church
Dislike them.
musicals. I don't like it for your birthday. I can do praise and worship, but I do not like the conglomerate. I can do a worship experience where we about to just but this musical situation, I have a disdain for. That's just me. I don't like church musicals.
It's all the same.
It's all just the same people. But long story short, it's like this media market that I'm in, or that I cater to, or that I do video for, edited, may put me in a place that is at the Groove Lounge, 1210 Broadway, and I need to network because I'm trying to cater to a people. Like this location is about community.
Yeah.
It's diverse. It's different. You might see me at the Groove, but I'm networking. We're here to network and to exchange and for business. And it's like, you have to be okay as a person with this. And I say this all the time, and the smoke that comes with it.
Yeah.
It gets smoky. But what are you doing what God said?
Our trip to New York confirmed everything. Like, I was like, if I ever had any okay, that is okay to not do what it looks like you should do. And it wasn't like, first of all, don't take this out of context. We was not out here being reckless. But even the favor that was shown to us on our trip, being in platforms where we speak no Spanish.
We don't speak no Spanish, okay?
No Spanish. We speak minimal Spanish. I had minimal grade school Spanish in conversation. But even the favor that came with that was the first time I felt like it's okay.
Yeah.
To do what God says when it doesn't look like you're supposed to be in this environment. So that like freed me in a space where it's like, you're going to see me in places that is not going to look. Why is she here? Mind your business.
Like, I'm gonna get honest, we went to New York City on the whim.
We really did.
And we thought we had a little situation set up we about to go to. Was it that spot? It wasn't there. Was it that spot? It wasn't there. Long story short, we ended up at this last location. And
shout out to Gigi for
no, valid. And we got down there and we was like, all right,
it was lit.
Well, it was lit. That's what we about to do. And this Dominican, and they gave us the microphone. It was Fire 716 Radio, and we was down there, and I was up there pretending. Whereby? But it just showed that, listen, it is proof that your gift makes room for you.
Yeah.
Like, room was made. And that was just in that sense. But what happens when you really occupy in the fullness? And when I say fullness, I literally mean the fullness. And that's just the spiritual. The spiritual, the natural, because I gave you gifts. Mm-hmm. Problem with some people with their gift is they don't manage it well. Mm-hmm. They can get themselves caught up and it begins. You got to remain balanced at all times. Period. That's the real thing. But your gift is going to take you places, and those places don't always. We always talk about Jesus left the 99 for the one. What if he sent me to go get the one?
Yeah.
While you, and I'm not here to make stuff up, but like literally, if I come to have a conversation with one person to change a life, I've done what I was supposed to do. Mm-hmm. If I get on this microphone and I'm like, yeah, it's going down, y'all, let's go, let's get it. But then backstage, the girl crying, what's going on? Listen, he loves you. He's not disappointed. Because it's your obedience. And I tell people all the time, I obey the Lord.
Yeah, because you ended up praying for the homeless guy and helping him out.
No, valid. Like, I didn't know he was going to walk by. I didn't know. This matter of fact, en route, this is why we're talking about it.
Jesus.
No, Santa Claus wasn't there, was he?
That was
different.
That was a different trip.
Different trip. So clearly, I went to Santa Claus, and we went to the Syracuse Mall, and the woman of God just like, hey, we took the lady walk by limping. I look back, and it was just praying for the woman of God. It was just for the one.
Yeah.
Man.
Like, because you just never know.
You never know what your assignment is.
What your assignment is. But then it's, and this goes back to procrastination. That's why it's important to be obedient to what he said when he say it. Because if not, it could be catastrophic. It could be somebody's, you've messing up my timeline. Because no, valid. Hannah, I forgot you were there. I do recall. But it's like, because it's going to, what made David amazing was his obedience. David wasn't perfect. David was foul, nasty, out of control. Couldn't
control his paint.
You
Wasn't
thank you.
fans.
The exact words out of my mouth. But there was something about his obedience that no matter what's gonna happen, I'm gonna do what God said.
Yeah.
Even if I mess up and I'm out here killing niggas
People.
killing people
Killing
for the
people's
woman,
husbands.
you know, like I'm gonna still do what he said. So, and there's so many more examples. But are you gonna be obedient?
Right.
If I tell you to speak, are you gonna speak? If I tell you to go, are you gonna go? If I tell you to move, are you gonna move? And with procrastination, that's a holdup for us. Because when you do what he told you to do, the moment he tells you to do it, as unorthodox and crazy as it is, what happens is it gives your gift the opportunity to make room for you, but it's life changing, but it adds value to you that you don't know who I got in place to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, I had something to say, but I
Right.
can't say it because it's gonna take us into a super left. So not going in that direction.
Listen.
Not gonna go in that direction. No, I'm not. But I agree. Procrastination is crazy. I'm a very procrastinating kind of person. Shoot, I will have stuff. I will have stories out, written out. Like, this is how I want it to go. I want to go this way, and sit on that and just be like, oh yeah. And I got like 3 or 4, but I was just like, I don't know how I want to do it. I don't know.
That it's okay to have human moments because humanity is real.
Yes.
This the dwelling
Yes.
in the human moment. Like that's the deter, and that's what causes procrastination. Because when you have that, it's like when you actively feel that moment, it's like, dang, this is a lot. It feels like the walls are coming down because I can't even make ends meet halfway, let alone make them meet. Like, so you have those feelings, but when you dwell there, then it causes you, because now you're just sitting there like idle, running out of gas, because now you're sitting in these emotions. Now you're sitting in, dang, I can't provide for myself. I can't provide for my family. I can't do this. I can't do this. Dang, I'm doing this, guy. Why? You're sitting in the emotion, and it's causing the procrastination. It is causing the just burning of energy because now you can't get out of the space of your emotion. Like I tell people, it's okay to have emotions, but when you take up residence, you got a zip code there. That's what's going to deter everything and delay everything because we're taught to be robots in church. Oh, you can't let your feelings, take you over. No, have them, but don't live there. Like because it's producing an outcome you really don't want. Now we got to pray for you to come out the outcome. Then we got to pray for you to come out of the procrastination. Now we got to pray for you to come out the self-loathing because you decided to take up residence in not just having the moment, but now it's a place of residence.
Yeah. Shadi said something earlier. I want to just address before I run away here. And she said, release from this brainwash of religion, please. I have a different take on this thing we call religion. This is just my truth. That religion by itself is really just my search to find out who God is.
Right.
Now that I find out who he is, I've then collaborated with people who understand the same concept that I have of who he is. And then as people, we got an organization we put together to organize this concept of who we think he is and what we believe that he wants from us. I think authentically, our religion in approach was pure and honest. But over time, it becomes legalistic. It has these limitations, these boundaries based off what they believe. That's why there's so many of them and even so many denominations in the religion. And so I'm not going to, religion, I get it. But the truth of the matter is, if you have a different belief concept and you got people who believe you and y'all begin to gather people who believe in the same concept, you're going to become the next religious set of people.
Right.
You're going to be the next traditional set of people. Oh, we did it this way. This is how we did it because they did it that way.
Yeah.
No, what happens is you have to be open to God's instructions and what he's saying.
Right. Because
just because you've been checked or been dealt with doesn't mean we're being religious. That listen, we believe this. We believe this. We believe these concepts. And this is our idea of how we show our love to God. We don't do 1, 2, and 3. But then the question is, what is God telling you? If we're not licensing bad behavior, I'm not saying that you're saying this. We're not licensing bad behavior. We're not telling you just be out here wild, do what you want to do, and try to put Jesus on it to justify it. What I'm saying is, for real, what is God telling you your position is or your placement is, and are you operating in that vein? For example, I'm going to pause here for you, my sister. I'm going to talk before you.
Hold on 1 second. Talisha, you asked how, what, just so we can answer your question and put it in the messages.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
because if you are to be a witness to women, and he says that your method, this time I'm just talking to you for 30 seconds because I know you, is by doing hair. My question is, what's your conversation while you're doing hair?
Mhm.
And your conversation doesn't have to be, oh, I heard the Lord say, yada, da, 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 da. But is your conversation empowering? Is it uplifting? Is that your marketplace assignment?
Mhm.
With that also, are you also feeding yourself spiritually? Not only that, but are you also making sure that you're denying yourself some things as well?
Yeah.
Because it all coincides. That's my sister, so I can talk like that. But for some of us, I don't want us to think that we're just licensing. You can do what you want to do.
Right.
The thing is, what is God instructing you to do, and also where has He placed you? Where has He placed you? In this place, what are you supposed to do? One of my mentors said to me, he says, Frank, I don't agree with how crazy he was with all of the legalism and the roles of the denomination that I'm in.
Mhm.
But it has the factors that I most agree with.
Mhm.
But then he says, but do what you have to do to get to the place where you can then change things.
Right.
Some of us are so willing to fight immediately
Mhm.
that you haven't put yourself in the posture to change things. What do you mean, Frank? Watch me go here. Let me go answer these questions and get out of here. If you don't agree with all of the views of your current church, but God told you to come to this current church, you need to submit and do what's required at this current church.
Right.
In your growth and development, because He told you to come here for a reason. Part 2, God is not bipolar. He is sure, He is solid, He is clear.
Right.
He's about change and advancement, but some of us aren't submitted to go through the process so that then when it comes time for you to lead, because I give pastors after my own heart, I've given you some heart concerns that's different than where you were developed at.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But now that you're in a position to execute, you can now do it how I gave it to you.
Mhm.
But that's a process of development. But some of us are so quick to fight in the interim that you ain't got no weight in the game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You out of here.
She said, how do you not live there when life has gotten you stuck in whatever emotion, or how do you pull yourself out of it? Sure. So, God, this can be tackled on so many. I'll go therapeutic first. So the process of emotion is it's understanding that you are allowed to have them.
Yes.
So being frustrated, being tired, being aggravated, you're allowed to have those emotions. When you ruminate on it, that's allowing you to pull yourself into it and getting stuck there. So as a believer, acknowledging that they exist, and I'm not saying this is a one day thing. You could have these emotions for a couple of days, and that's okay. But at the end of having your emotion, you have to get to the place of determination that says, God, even though I feel this way, I still trust you, and I'm going to put this on you now. It's not, we don't put things on God. It's not too heavy for Him. But the emotions that you feel, actively fill out your emotions. Don't repress them. And a lot of people, they don't know how to release it because they repress them for so long and then they overtake them. Allow you to fill that space if it's a day or two, but then after that, be like, God, take these emotions, take these feelings of aggravation, help me to navigate through these so I'm not living there. And as far as pulling yourself out, it really is going to be a determination of your mind space and how you go from I'm not going to stay here to God, I need you to get me out of here. It's not a simple formula. It really is a submission and giving it over to God. I had my moment yesterday. Therapy and everything. I'm pretty sure I didn't listen to nothing that my therapist said yesterday. But I had to be like, God, I'm frustrated. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm doing what you asked me to do. And I actively felt those emotions all day. But by the time I hit my bed, I was like, God, but I'm gonna have to trust you, even in my feelings, to make the way. And that's how you do it. It's a consistent releasing it back to God. Sometimes it's not a one timer. It's a consistent, God, I'm giving this to you and I'm going to trust you despite the fact that I'm aggravated, frustrated, feeling depression, feeling anxiety. I'm still going to give this to you, and then actively finding the word that connects to your situation. It's let this mind be in you that's also Christ Jesus. I have the mind of Christ. Putting the word to your emotions as well can also help. Chief Ruler, you got something else?
Well, so just to confirm what Woman of God said is no, and this is not to be churchy at all. Like when I tell you, have your moment, have your moment. Like, and people don't. Okay, try. Elder, you, yeah, yeah. Okay. I give God my honest feedback in frustration. I talk to Him. I was in here in this place I'm in, right? This room, a couple days. Like, God, I don't know what you're doing, and I'm not feeling it. I'm over this season. Look, I'm telling you,
Tell the truth.
I'm over this season. I'm over not having. I'm over this frustration. I'm over walking. I'm over running for the bus. I thought it was gonna be a little short season, God, but I can't. I'm getting fed up.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm really. But after I have my raw moment, but God, I know you got me. God, I know you gotta have me. Though I ain't got answers for people, and I don't know what's happening next. You got me. And people looking for me for God. You have to have me. And then I still got, what do you want me to do? And guess what? I have that moment, then I'm okay for a little bit. But then when that bill collector call, that moment it hit again.
You said, God, this can't be it. Listen, I done said that
No,
to God at
listen.
least 10 times this week.
No, valid. 'Cause let me just tell you, this can't be.
Yeah.
This God, you didn't tell me to start a business. You didn't tell me to, and you know what it is, and I told you it's fake. You didn't tell me to go buy another building. I got this radio station. I got a business. I'm in my father's home. Stuff. God, this life of instant, what's the word? Because it's not sin. This life of inconvenience is overwhelming. But then the question is, this is the hard part. What are you trying to produce out of me in this? If I can get that question answer real quick, I can make some adjustments. Like, what do you want from me?
What's your end goal in this specific situation? What is your end goal?
Oh, valid. Yeah, what is your end goal?
What is the thing you want me to say yes to?
Like, what if all
I
of
need to learn
valid?
so we don't get here.
Right. But what if what I had to endure for the season was designed to get me to the place I hit yesterday? To talk about my family the way I had. Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes the frustration is to get you to a place where you can be honest and where you can be truthful. You know what I mean? I definitely find myself that once I'm angry or sad or upset, I'm finally at a place where I can be honest with me because I've been lying to me about how I feel or what I want to do. Because it's like, oh, well, I was going to do this and I was going to do this. No, sir, you were not. And you had no thought process of doing it. You've been talking it like you wasn't. This is what you wanted to do, but you said no, you wasn't going to do it because you was going to do this other thing because other people want you to do that thing. No. And that's where you get it. That's where you get it.
Honestly, the thing that you struggle with the most is what God is creating. I said, God, I must be having Oprah money. At this point, the two things I struggle with the most is being embraced artistically, my mental health, and money. And it was like the very things that you struggle with is what you are born to do, what you are born to prosper in. So I was like, I must be Oprah money because I must be sneaker line gonna be fresh to death. I must be like gonna get celebrity clients because at this point, my 3 areas of struggle for like the last decade, I'm like, God, for real. For real?
And what makes it exhausting, and we're not complaining. We just talking as your servants.
I'm complaining a little.
Look, it's just like this is lasting longer than my projection.
Yeah.
I was okay with the season coming
1
up.
year, 2 years, not 10 years, 12 years.
But you know what? It reminds me of living in my aunt's basement where I thought, all right, moving my faith. I'm out here, Lord. I'm doing the ministry, God. I'm doing what you said to. I'm a servant. I'm available. I don't be without a car for 3 months. In my basement of my house for 6 months, and God, you gonna move? Got credit cards. 3 years later, I'm still in the corner room of this basement, still living out of bags, and it's like, Lord, I thought this was going to be it, and then watch this. But then here I go meeting this woman, then to get married. Lord, who? Because right now I'm still in this corner room in the basement, but he provides and he shows up, and the blessing of the Lord maketh rich and have no sorrow. So he blesses us with a location weeks before the wedding. And I was talking, my wife was on here, and I was talking good faith. I told my wife, she's my girl today. I was like, baby, we trust God. Just set the date. She said, July 11th. Well, it is so, okay? And in my good old God confidence, being a man and trusting God, in the back of my mind, I'm like, God, you got to show up. Number one, you got to show up for the ring already.
Yeah.
Lord, because I don't sold 2 houses as a real estate agent. Did nothing else after that. Just bought the ring. What you're saying, Frank, what I'm saying is he shows up. But but when you're in it, it is exhausting, it's overwhelming, and I don't know. And I didn't know where we were going because she wasn't coming to the basement. I wish I would. Man, Mary goes to the basement. I can't. I'm scared to tell you part 2 of this story. So before, Jesus, weeks before, I can't tell you I don't want to jail. I'll tell it offline, and I might tell it later on. I got to find the right code to tell it. I talked to the person I could have killed. They just can't. Long story short is that my car breaks down. Then we don't have a car for the wedding, and then they steal my tire. Then they steal my license plate at the shop. I'm like, it's gone. The brake line messed up. It's just not doing good. We get this rental, and I keep the rental for about 4 or 5 months. Just paying weekly by week. I'm like, Lord, now this is getting a little whatever. But then he puts me with the vehicle, and another vehicle. What I'm saying is that the frustration in it, I get it.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that God, you've shown up, and people may not understand it. But people don't. They don't have to comprehend it. Frank, I don't understand how and why. Nigga, excuse me.
No.
Me neither.
If I knew, I would change it.
Yeah.
Somebody told me, Frank, I just don't get how you still struck. I don't know. I thought the season was up. But what happens is this season is designed to produce something.
Would have had to wait.
No, valid. But like whatever you're trying to produce out of me, Jehovah, let's do it. And let's get it done, and let's move on to the next. So I believe even right now, what the bills currently do here, we own by faith right now. Okay, Lord, we say this scripture all the time. This be faithful over a few things, make you ruler over many. And being faithful means just sometimes keep showing up. Faith, and it's hard to show up. I said, Lord, I don't even know if we're gonna be alive today.
Yeah.
But you have to move as if it's already done.
Because I'm ready to have a board meeting with Jesus. I'm gonna need you to get all your people together. No, we need to have a conversation because it is a real thing. And something was said to me last night, and it was like I was brought up in a conversation. It was like for a person to not be currently employed but still fulfilling certain duties. They was just like people are like, yo, I don't know how she's doing it. And I was like, it's clearly Jehovah. Because no human in real life can live off of $406 a month and still got bills paid. It's clearly God. But at the same time, my question has been like, okay, God, you prophesied through the man of God a couple weeks ago about my entrepreneurship. I have the book. I'm trying to get the money for the LLC. Who do I need to talk to? Where do I need to go? The designs is not the issue. The designs are done. I got enough shoes to release for the next couple of years.
Because that's how nice I am.
That's how sweet I am. I keep designing stuff. But it was like, who is the next step? I just need a meeting for the next step. I don't even need, God, you ain't got to show me how everything going to work out. What is the next step?
And what he does is, and he's I'm going to say this, and again, don't be offended. God is love. Because he shows up at the last minute.
Yeah.
And what he does is he'll tell you to prepare stuff. But you don't prepare it, then it'll sit.
Yeah.
It'll just sit. The board that Daniel's at right now has set in my house. This has been sitting for a year before we even. Hey, what you doing with this? You might as well just sell it. But I was just saying that, but it just sounded good. But what happened is, certain things that I had were just sitting. But when the time was right and the time was proper, it was just the putting together of what I already had. That content space that's over there, that was also we already had. She spent $20 on a paper backdrop. But what it is like, God will tell you to prepare stuff and then don't do nothing with it. Just for you to be able to say, oh, we design. Oh, they're right here.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm
more when I thought I was unprepared.
I'm over prepared.
I'm over prepared. And it doesn't feel good in the moment. And if if I had the words of wisdom, today my word of wisdom would be fight the finish. But I want you to. I know this sounds cocky and crazy, but I want you to talk about what you got going on. I want you to move as if you are already in the better place, even though you know it's not. And when you have those moments where reality keeps smacking you upside down and hit you with a stone cold stunner, take the hit, have the moment, roll over, get the corner ring, but get back up. There's still some more fight going on. You have this, y'all got this, and I say that not from somebody who got it together, not from somebody. No, I'm in the same boat of faith with you. I see the same storm that surrounds you as around me. We are literally still fighting and still going, but the fight is a fixed fight. We're going to be okay. We're going to make it. How, Frank? I can't even tell you. I can't even sit here and give you no deep. I can't give. Listen, I don't know how he's going to work it out. I don't know what he's going to do, but whatever he's going to do it well. As long as you're doing your part, execute, execute, execute. If you think it, do it. If you whisper it, go for it. I don't care if it's wrong. I don't. You like Frank? Why do you say even if it's wrong? Because sometimes you got to just test you're willing to obey. Are you willing to obey? I'd rather you obey the unction to go than not to go and wonder. Mm-hmm. Could it have been? I made a decision one time. I'll talk about it today, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I made a choice to just go after some things that just like, I'm gonna just see what it is. I have the unction to go, so I went. It wasn't what it was. Okay, but now I know. But then also, those unctions, and I'm gonna say this real quick. They're small. It's not a ball of fire. It's not the sound of the preacher hawking in your ear.
High energy.
High energy. Yeah. Like for example, and this might be a little bit too personal. My wife and I were preparing for checkout at the hotel, and I felt the unction. Let me go make sure this door is locked because we extended our checkout and make sure that the door is locked so they just don't walk in. Long story short, maybe I was just tripping, but we was just chilling, and the person goes to the door. Thank God I locked it, because if not, you would have me with the guy. But what is this? It was just a small unction. We don't make sure this is locked just because they would just walk in here like down here.
Right.
And but if I didn't obey, it could have been a major situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But God is just saying, I need you to get in the habit of obeying those instructions. And I don't know who I'm talking to real quick. I won't hear via the prophets. When God tells you to tell somebody something, just say what He said. And it doesn't require being spooky and thus says the Lord and the run to the book of Tia. Listen, hey, I see you. This came to my mind. I want to release this to you. Release it, because those moments can be life-changing factors for you, because they can recall they needed that at that moment. That hey, I didn't have it then, but I want to bless you now. Yeah. Just saying, be obedient. Be obedient. Be obedient. Got words of wisdom before we get out of here? We're over 17.
Allow yourself the space. Don't live there.
Do you, y'all? That sounds so. Do you, bro? Nah. You know what? We all know what it takes. Now it's time to just put it into practice. Yeah. The hardest thing to do is to make something routine. Try it. So I guess the first step is to put it into practice so that you can make it into routine.
It's your boy Big Frank. I'm trying to do a thing. I'll let y'all. Y'all keep on fighting. I'll be back on Monday. Daniel might show up. Daniel been showing up. Daniel been faithful. Okay.
I might be back Friday.
Back Friday at the time that Jason is really on a mission doing some great things. So her I didn't want to say Houdini is. Her sporadic moments of popping up is always gonna be a blessing to us. That she about to play. I'll let y'all. I'm trying to play music and I'm trying to do too much. Get me out of here. So, all right, y'all. Peace, love.